Ray Wheatley for Fightnews. I'm here with one of the leading referees in the world. That's Danrex Tapdasan from the Philippines. How are you, Danrex?
I'm good, Ray.
Good on you, Danrex. Very good to see you, Danrex. Danrex, you're a globe-trotting referee. You've travelled around the world, mate. Tell me some of the countries you've visited, mate, as a World Championship referee.
Recently I went to London in the United Kingdom to judge in IBF World Title fight, and
so that was Triple G versus Kell Brook.
The main event was Triple G and Kell Brook. I judged the undercard, Lee Haskins versus Stuart Hall, and Casimiro versus Charlie Edwards. So I judged two IBF World Title fights, undercard GGG and Kell Brook. And recently I refereed also a World Title fight in Japan. I had an opportunity to referee in Brisbane, Australia.
Good.
Judge in Melbourne, Australia also.
Yes.
And one time in Newcastle, near Sydney.
That's right.
I also judged in Australia, and I had two times I judged in South Africa. Once in Johannesburg.
You're right.
And another one in Durban.
Well, you're doing very well, Danrex. You've only been involved since 2009. Is that correct? As a boxing official, and you certainly progressed very fast, mate. You refereed a world title fight in Macau featuring Australian girl who won WBO world title, Louisa Houghton. Tell me about Louisa Houghton, her world title win.
Yes.
That was in Japan, actually,
that was
wasn't it?
in Japan last month, August 20. Louisa Houghton, she's an Australian from Perth, but she told me her mother is from the Philippines.
Yeah.
And she fought this Japanese boxer in Japan.
Yeah.
So Louisa came over all the way from Australia to Japan to fight for the world title against the Japanese.
Yeah.
It was a good fight. They were both tough fighters. The Japanese was also tough. However, I think Louisa was the better fighter that night. She was strong. She was really deliberate in her attack.
Right.
In the early rounds, she was not comfortable with the range. The Japanese was very good in boxing away from Louisa. But as the rounds wore on, Louisa slowly wore down the Japanese. So eventually, Louisa won a very convincing decision. She knocked the Japanese down once in the last round. That was the confirmation and the exclamation point of her world title win.
They tell me she's like a female Manny Pacquiao.
Yes, she told me after the fight that she idolized Manny Pacquiao. In fact, her mother was born in the same island.
She did tell me
as Manny Pacquiao. She told me that her mother was born in Digos, Digos City in Davao, and Davao is just 2 hours, 2 hours by land to Manny Pacquiao's homeland of Sarangani province. So they have the pedigree.
That's true. She's proved that. She's only I think that was the 7th fight. She's now world champion. So she's going to have a big future. There's no doubt about that. Danrex, talking about Manny Pacquiao, you've got to know him fairly well.
Yes. Everybody knows Manny Pacquiao.
Yes, of course.
The Manny Pacquiao actually made boxing in the Philippines very popular. Yeah. And in fact, I can attribute all the breaks that I got not only in the Philippines but my overseas assignments because of the popularity of boxing in the Philippines and because of Manny Pacquiao making boxing very popular. So indirectly, Manny Pacquiao
he's helped Filipinos and boxing. There's no doubt about it.
Everybody, and he's a good inspiration, and he's a good role model.
A great man.
A great man for Filipinos.
He certainly is. He certainly is. Now, you are a successful lawyer in the Philippines. Tell me about your business as a lawyer.
Yes, I'm practicing as a lawyer in the Philippines. I have a lot of Not a lot, but I have some clients from the government.
Okay.
I have also handled family-related cases like declaration of nullity of marriages. So
Okay.
that keeps me busy.
And you've been a lawyer for how long?
I've been a lawyer since 2004. So
Okay.
I've been a lawyer.
12 years?
I've been a lawyer for 12 years now.
Good.
So from Monday to Friday, I'm a lawyer. When it's Saturday, Sunday,
You're
I'm in
boxing
boxing.
referee, yeah.
So boxing is like a weekend hobby for me.
Yeah.
A weekend hobby, and I even joke with my wife, and I told her, you know, boxing is my mistress. So
She won't mind that.
yeah, she won't mind it. She
Yeah.
supports me a lot.
That's
And
great.
I'm also rearing 2 kids. I have 2 boys,
Yeah.
one 5-year-old and one 2 years old.
That's great. Now, how many world title fights have you done?
I'm doing both judge and referee.
Yeah.
As a judge, I judged 21 world title fights already.
Oh, good, good.
And I refereed 11
Terrific.
world title fights already.
Yeah. Now, on the world scene, what are the referees that you admire the most?
Oh, I have a lot. There are a lot of referees that I admire a lot. I could mention Jack Reese from California.
Yeah, Jack's very good.
Not only because he's a good referee, but he's a good person.
He is
I
good
can
man.
call him anytime. I can ask him about any issues that I would want to ask him.
Yeah,
And
he's
he
a good
would
friend
be
of mine too.
good friend of ours, and
Yeah.
he is very
Boxing.
accommodating.
He is.
And he is a good man. It's like a family to me. He's like a big brother to
Yeah.
me. And Jack Reese is one. And I admire Tony Weeks also. He's
Tony's a nice man, yeah.
Very
Good
good
man.
referee and a good man.
Good
you
man.
know, Jack Reese, Tony Weeks, Kenny Bayless.
Kenny Bayless, yeah.
These referees, they are great referees. Like for me, I'm just starting as a referee.
Yep.
But these guys, they have a common trait.
Yeah.
They are great people.
Good
That's-
people to go with it.
That's I realized at first when I saw them, I was like starstruck.
Yeah.
Like these are celebrities. These are people of I cannot reach them.
Yeah.
But when I try to talk to them, they're very accommodating.
They've got the common touch.
They have, yeah.
The common touch where they know how to relate to people. And
Very
and
humble.
officials that are coming up, they always give their time.
Yes.
And
That's how.
very helpful.
That's why I idolize them. Not because they are good referees only, but they're great people.
Yeah,
They're very humble, very accommodating to young
Yeah.
people like me.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Danrex, and we're going to look forward to following your career, mate, in boxing.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you very much.
All the best, Danrex.